Hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone. Good evening.
Yes. Welcome to another Meet the Courage Ambassadors live. I'm Lillian, and I'm so excited to continue this story of courage, a global movement of women united in courage. So, before we get to know tonight's Courage Ambassador, I want to share, first of all, why this movement matters beyond the stories that we are about to hear. So, through stories of courage, we are coming together to support Project Safe by World Vision Singapore. It is a project that is empowering vulnerable young women in Cordova, Cebu, Philippines through livelihood and skill training, helping them build greater opportunities for a safer and brighter future. And this is why I believe so strongly in the power of women sharing our stories. Because when one woman finds the courage to share, what she has walked through, another woman out there will find the courage to believe that change is possible for her too. Okay, so tonight we have two wonderful women who said yes to support Project Safe. There's none other than Phoebe Davids from the Philippines and Nicole Tay from Singapore. Okay, we're not
Good
going
evening,
into their
everyone.
full stories just yet. All right, that will be on Saturday. Okay, so instead, we are going to get to know the women behind these stories. We're going to get to know their personalities, a bit of their passion and experiences, and what courage means to them. All right, so this Saturday, all right, block your calendar. This Saturday, they will share their full stories, and you'll understand even more deeply why they chose to say yes to this movement. Okay, so Phoebe and Nicole, welcome, and let's get to know you a little better. All right, I'll start with Phoebe first. So Phoebe, let's start with something very simple. Now, maybe before I ask you the question, maybe Phoebe, you want to just very briefly, in one or two sentences, introduce yourself.
Yes, my name is Phoebe David, and already living in the Philippines after living in 9 countries abroad. So we've been out expatriated for a total of 30 years, I think, or more. I have 2 kids, a doctor now, and a hotelier.
Awesome. And Nicole, very briefly introduce yourself before I shoot all the questions.
Sure. Hi, everybody. My name is Nicole. So I'm a mother of two teens, and I'm an aroma wellness coach. So I advocate wellness educational talk through aromatherapy.
Very nice. Okay. Now I will go to and fro, okay? Yeah, both of you, yeah? So let's start with Phoebe. Okay, Phoebe?
Yes,
Let's start
I'm
with
here.
something simple. Something simple. All right. If someone meets you for the first time, what is one thing you would love them to know about you?
I think it's my positivity and openness to anyone because wherever I go, even in the plane, when I speak to someone, they will always notice that I'm positive. And then, so I guess it's like kind of a first
Positivity.
impression that I can share with everyone and when they're talking to me, something like
All
like
right. Yes, positivity. I think I love that. All right. That's great. Okay, Nicole, now to you.
I think that's the reason why me and Phoebe are both in this life together because if you talk to me, you will know that I am very cheerful, very positive. I think this is something that you will catch right on the spot.
Yeah, and now that you mentioned, both of you are highly positive, positive energy all the time. All right, that's
that.
very good observation there, Nicole.
Yeah, what
Okay,
that's funny is even in the plane, I don't know the person. I get to speak, and within 5 minutes, I will know their life story. It's like maybe
yeah,
it's a
that,
feeling
that that's your
they feel safe
personality.
with me. So I mean, they can. I'm
Uh,
genuinely listening when they are talking.
Very well, very well. Okay, Nicole, tell us something about you that we wouldn't discover. Okay, we wouldn't discover simply by just looking at your professional profile. Okay,
Okay,
something that we will not know from looking at your
okay.
professional profile. Yeah.
Okay, so being mother of two teens, maybe most people will think, oh, most probably I can cook for my children. But the fact is I can't cook. Okay, and also
Okay.
I'm afraid of you know,
Yes, I'm sure.
snowboarding, snow skiing,
Uh-huh.
because I was exposed to it when I was younger, but I keep falling down. But I guess when my family they say, "Oh, I want to go Japan and learn," and my two kids wants to learn, and my husband also want to learn, so I'm being forced to learn it anyway. So
Being
very
forced.
fearful, but yeah, I get to learn it. So if you see me, I don't really look that sporty, but I do know how to snowboard and snow ski.
Wow, snowboarding. Wow. Okay, okay. Don't judge a book by its cover, yeah?
Not very professional, but at least I can make myself down down the hills.
I can
Okay.
imagine that already.
All right. So now coming back to Phoebe. Okay. Mm, now, what is one simple thing that brings you joy or keeps you grounded when life gets so busy?
Well, I think I'm normally with all this leadership thing, and people think that maybe I'm serious, but I'm actually adventurous. I'm also mischievous actually. Like I like quiet moments. I like also to venture, to go around, to explore not only about people and places, but to get connection. And I like to have funny stories with friends also. So besides than being, speaking engagement leader, boss, or whatever, I have that side that, I like to go to the saloon and and talk about ladies things, or I like to walk, but I always look forward to my quiet time alone. I
Mhm.
always like that. Like I love to read. Now I used to read in books, but now I read in the phone. And
Mhm.
always Stefan will say me, "Oh, you never read in the books anymore." I mean, I use the phone to read, but it's just nice to be
Okay.
sometimes. I get like a breather even inside the car. When
Mm.
I'm in a hurry, I take a pause inside the car. I park in one under the shade, and I will stay there and like try to compose myself for which direction I'm taking now. Am I going to the right? Although I know where I'm going, but there will be moments like, okay, stop. So I pause,
Nice, nice.
something
All
like that.
right. So taking time for,
Yeah, yeah.
for yourself and being alone at times, right? Okay, now let's move on to your courageous side. Okay. Now, Nicole, let's ask you this one first. Okay. Would you describe yourself as a naturally courageous person, or is courage something you've had to learn along the way?
Okay, I mean being in business, naturally I want people to view me as a courageous woman. Okay,
Mhm.
but of course there are times that I'll be fearful as well, like for example the height of a roller coaster, snow skiing is not easy. I've never learned before, but no matter how high the roller coaster, I still want to try. No matter how high the mountain, I still want to try. So I would say that um, I'm not a timid person by nature, of course, because I love fun and adventure. But sometimes when the challenge is really not easy, but the environment nudge me a little, I would say I will adapt to it.
Right,
Mm.
right. So I guess you're naturally quite courageous.
Yeah, I would think so.
Okay. All right, Phoebe, how about you? Now, come, let me ask you another question about courage. All right. When you hear the word courage, what does it mean to you personally?
Well, for me, courage, when I speak about courage, is always something like one step forward.
Mm-hmm.
Because actually I just realized I am naturally courageous since I was small. I just discovered it actually, not recently, but I remember when my dad would like to ask my brother to go something in the dark, to buy something, for example, in passing in the dark. He would be afraid, and be afraid of the dark, and said, and I will volunteer myself, I'll go. Like I
Right.
always try to be the one to go, and like I will always try, even if there are so many things, like I will move one step forward and say, I try. So without knowing it, and I don't know what is courage about. When you were small, you don't know what is it. But I just know that if there is some things like happening or some setbacks or whatever, I just know that I take a step forward. And because like growing up, I think I've learned that hope is a decision I make every day. It's
All
always
right.
like my
So,
positivity, it connects to that. And I always see things on the brighter side, even like, oh, I'm scared. Like when I went to climb in the Everest, we climbed 17 suspended bridges. And
right.
normally I'm scared of the height. And I did not do that when we were together with you. It was more not because I was scared, it was more because I want to stay with that lady with us, but
Right. So
I
courage. So what does courage? How do you define courage then? Right. I know.
well,
I know you
yes,
met you share all these experiences that you have about the courage. So what does it mean to you? Maybe like just describe in three
courage
one
is
one sentence what
seeing
courage means to
things.
you.
Courage, it means for me is I see things differently. So when I see things
Different.
differently, I make decisions differently. So
All
it
right.
depends, or there will be possible things. So it's like, okay, when I
Right.
take this courage, okay, I said I will take a step forward, then I
Mhm.
will see things in a different perspective. So whether it
Wonderful.
will lead me to go to the right, will give me to go to the left, or I will go forward. But I
All
know
right.
that when I say courage, it changes my perspective, it changes my decision because it changes how I see things.
Okay, wonderful. So courage is all about just keep moving forward in spite of, whatever situation that you're in, right?
Yes.
That's how I paraphrase it.
Absolutely. And
Okay,
even
let's
like
come back to Nicole. All right, so now let's move on to something that you're passionate about. Okay, so Nick, what is something that you're currently passionate about or excited to be working towards?
Okay. Actually, this is something very different, I would say.
Mm.
My answer. Okay. Actually, I'm very passionate about being productive,
Mm-hmm.
being in a win-win situation. So
Mm-hmm.
naturally, when I do business with someone, I would want to achieve that goal. Okay, which means our meeting has to be productive. Our partnership must lead to a win-win situation. Of course, having said that, we don't try to force the partnership if it cannot achieve a win-win situation. But I think this is something that I'm passionate about because there's a lot of different things that people are passionate about. But I think when it comes to, because I'm more business minded, right? So I feel that when it comes to business, it has to be that way so that there is continuity, there's sustainability.
Right. Just curious, why are you so passionate about business?
Yeah, because I think maybe my kids are already grown up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't need to like focus on them or spend too much energy going after them for what do you call that, for their studies and all
Mm-hmm.
this, right? But business is different. Like for example, business can lead to a lot of different kind of wonderful things, and it can also grow a lot of friendship along the way. That's how I realize.
Right.
And we can do social good, right? So like,
Right.
so for example, support this project safe. Yeah, so
Mm,
when you have money, you're able to do what you like. You can, like for example, if you like to travel, then you have the money, you go traveling. Yeah,
mm, mm.
so
So
you do
business
what
now
you
is
like.
like your new baby, right?
Sorry.
Business is like your new baby, your new child.
Yeah, correct.
Okay. All right, let's come back to Phoebe. Phoebe, something that you're passionate about that I know you could talk for hours and hours, but yeah, I'm not going to let you talk for hours here. But
I
what is
think
that one subject that you can talk for hours?
I think it's again back to my positivity and human connection. I
Connection.
always like whatever I do, like I want to be connected to the person, to have an impact. Like there is always a purpose when I took. Like even today I was laughing, laughing today. I was just meeting new people and I'm talking to them. And like why I'm talking to them. There is some kind in me innate like a purpose, like a clear purpose that, oh, I want to be connected to this person. And I
Mm-hmm.
can talk if she will tell me, oh, I'm not feeling well and all that and whatever. And then all of a sudden I will say, oh, the power of words. I've learned, I grew up with it. I said, don't say negative things. Don't say that you are like this. You will be okay. And you have to believe that you have in you something, take out the in you that will make a difference in your life. Don't give in to how you feel. So I always have the tendency to say that. And then I can speak about that for, I said, maybe again, long hours, just to be connected, and then to talk about their adventures at the same time and see where I can assist them in some
Right.
ways. It's not,
Yeah.
it's coming so naturally. Like even in the plane, when I was even telling my mother-in-law, and I told my mother-in-law, oh, I was telling her about the neighbor, and I know a lot of stories about the neighbors. And my mother-in-law said, oh, we've been neighbors for 20 years. We don't know anything about that person. I said, we were together in the bus, and she was telling to me everything. It's like, and then maybe it's just the being feeling safe. And then I get to listen, and then I get to give even sometimes unsolicited advice, but it's more on the process of making her feel better, lighter, or whatever, smiling, making her smile, and something like that, even as
Yeah, I
strangers.
think I
It's
think
strange
the
about it.
connection, like what you mentioned about connection and
Yes.
connection and positivity is I can see that it's something that can get you talking for hours and hours.
Yeah, I
Awesome,
guess
awesome. Connection and
it's also the
positivity.
exposure or with different cultures,
Mhm.
the diversity in cultures that I've been to, and even the different islands that we have, because
Right,
Philippines is 1,000 islands. But
right,
actually, our islands, we have different cultures, different the way we speak, the different language, the different foods, actually. So even when I was in the university, I get to already, to have this kind of like, okay, I realize, okay, oh, and my language is, this is how we say it now. In the other island, they say it differently. And then,
right.
something like that. So I
Yeah,
guess
it's
it's
very
nice to
interesting to
be,
experience different culture and experiences when we travel, right? Okay, now thank you so much about your passion. Let's move on to the last question that I have for you for tonight. So, without telling us the whole story, all right, it's not tonight, it's Saturday. All right, Saturday, you will share your story. But tonight, we want to let the audience, just know something, right? Like, what is one lesson? One lesson from your own journey, right, that has really changed the way you see life. Just a short, 30 seconds, one lesson from your own journey that has really changed the way
or
you see life.
Nicole.
For let's go to Nicole first. All right,
Sure.
Nicole. Yeah,
Okay, the one lesson that I've learned is learn to let go.
learn to let go.
Yes, a
Right.
lot of time people come to me and complain or comment that, hey, life is not fair. All right, whether the life is fair or not, uh, it is not important whether is it correct or not, because in that person view is already not fair. So when
Mm,
life give us curveball, maybe we can take a step back and then we reflect and learn to let go rather than we harp on it, and it only makes our life more miserable. So actually learning to let go is a very good skill, right? So there's a phrase called make lemonade out of lemons. That's the
mm-hmm.
reason why for we have this phrase, right? So
Yes,
yeah, so
yes.
I would think learn to let go is a very good virtual
Powerful,
to have.
powerful lesson, right?
Yeah.
Powerful principle actually
Yeah.
to operate from, right? Always
Yes.
learning to let go. All right, coming back to Phoebe. Phoebe, without giving away your full story, can you just give us one little glimpse of a moment in your life that shaped who you are today? Just in
Becoming.
30 seconds, one glimpse into that moment of your life that
I
shaped who
think
you are.
it's becoming.
Mm-hmm.
Like what I said earlier, it's not because when I say becoming, is that it's not because I arrive to something I want to do. I cannot figure out everything. I don't know what's ahead of me, but as I said, I take a step forward. That means move forward, and I
Mm-hmm.
will become on the step that I take. So it's not that I have achieved what I want to achieve, but I have changed something in me. There is
Right.
something because I decided I will become becoming, like
Right.
something different from where I am now.
Right. Always looking forward to becoming
Yes, moving
a better
forward.
person that you are, right? A better version of you, always becoming.
Yes.
Awesome. Awesome. I like that. Okay. We are always, so we are not stagnant all the time, right? We don't look in the past. We don't stay keep complaining about the present, but we're always looking forward of becoming.
Yes,
That's
I
beautiful.
think it
Beautiful.
encompasses the entire perspective. It's not only about relationship, it's
Mm,
not only about how you deal with people around you. It's not only when you are with the community or when you are at home. It's
mm,
always like changing it. Like, it's like what Nicole said, let go. So I don't want to stay, I don't know how to be angry. So always I say, what has been done cannot be undone. So we move forward,
yeah.
something
Yeah.
like
It is
that.
what it is,
It's
right? It
always
is what it
like
is.
so
Yeah.
so it's not, I don't stay there. I mean I have to take that step that I wanted. It's, I don't know, I haven't figured out if it's correct or if it's something that I want to achieve, but I know that I should not stay there. You don't give hatred, you forgive people, you just let
Yeah.
go, as what Nicole
Yeah.
also, and then
We
you
keep
become
growing.
another person,
We are all
another
constantly
version
growing.
where you see things differently again. So that's also courage. And that's again, go back to being courageous naturally. I think it's innate. Well, for me, I think it's innate that I've been through the years. I can feel it already.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, both of you. Thank you, Phoebe and Nicole, for saying, first of all, for saying yes to support Project Save, right?
Of
And for
course, you
being
are
part.
doing it for the Filipinos, and I
Yes.
cannot, why my friends, the other ambassadors from the States, Nicole, the other, members of the graduated with the botcom, and they do it, and why not me? And it's for the Filipinos.
Yes, we're supporting the ladies in
So it's
Philippines,
it's
right?
more, that's also part of saying courage become a responsibility.
Mm-hmm. Right. So once again, thank you for saying yes to support Project Save and for being part of this global movement of women united in courage. And to everyone watching, right, either this live or replay, remember every courageous story inspire and every courageous act creates impact. So we invite you to support Project Save by World Vision Singapore, empowering these 30 girls, right, 30 young women in Cebu with skills and opportunities for a safer and brighter future. So follow the story of courage also at our YouTube channel, Voices of Courage Asia, for all the replays, right, and for all the upcoming sharing from women across 4 continents, like what Phoebe said,
Yay.
different countries. You have 4 continents. I think we have like 6 different countries now, right? So up till next time, remember when a woman finds the courage, everything changes. I'm Lillian Ong.
Exactly.
Yeah. Thank you for joining us and keep
Thank
choosing
you,
courage.
everyone, and see you on Saturday.
Thank
Yeah.
Thanks,
See you
you.
Nicole,
on
and thanks,
Saturday.
Lilian, of course.